Strength and honor.
Strength and honor.
Strength and honor.
At my signal, unleash hell.
What up, y'all? This is Devin with Up TV, and this is why so many of our youth are turning into little atheists. Lil Uzi Vert is currently one of the biggest hip-hop stars today. His demeanor is satanic, his music is satanic, he worships other Satanists like rock legend Marilyn Manson. He has no problem with rocking 666 and upside down crosses, and what's worse, his music is marketed and promoted to kids. I'm telling y'all, if there was ever a time to monitor what your kids listen to and watch, then that time is now. Look, this isn't my first video about Lil Uzi Vert or Satanism in hip-hop, so I don't plan on taking too much time commentating on this video, spelling everything out for y'all, but I just want to show y'all how our youth has become so desensitized to Satanism. I remember when people would make a big deal about Jay-Z having his audience throw up the rock sign, which is of course the Illuminati all-seeing eye, but nowadays an artist like Lil Lucifer can have his whole stage designed with upside down crosses and nobody bats an eye. This is crazy if you ask me. We truly live in the age of zombieism. I ain't even calling the people sheep no more. Sheep are smarter than the Walking Dead. Calling y'all sheep will be giving y'all too much credit. Nope, to me, y'all are zombies, okay? As always, I know the Lil Uzi Vert fans is gonna come out of nowhere and try to justify this shit, as they always do. I heard it all though. 666 is melanin. Upside down crosses stand for unknowanism, and the cross is a pagan symbol. I heard it all. But man, don't act like y'all don't know what the cross stands for today. Don't act like the upside down cross ain't a symbol of atheists and the Antichrist. I can care less what the cross meant 1,000 years ago. Today it has a new meaning. And y'all know an upside down cross is a symbol used to mock God.
Matthew chapter number 4, verses 8 and 9. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and said unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
This is the third temptation of Christ after he had renounced the economics of turn the stones into bread and the politics of worship me and you can rule the world. Satan, people don't speak about that very often, but you know how to become a political champion by worshiping Satan. I mean, it tells you that right in the text. After having transcended economics and politics, oh, would Jesus be just so light? So the devil took him up onto the tower of Herod's palace and says, oh, you're so ethereal, just cast yourself down and God will bear you up. And Jesus says, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. That's the sense of temperance. Don't go up like a balloon. Stay on the ground.
I'm the coolest clam in the sea.
It made me want to go back to Satan worship.
Well, that's, I think
it worked for me. It got me a career.
Do you record while the bus is moving, or does it have to come to a stop before?
Yeah, well, sometimes they don't want to, and they're, you know, GAGA, we can't get, you know, the frequency's weird, and, you know, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, you know, I get a little bit mad.
I had to ask some friends because I was hearing a lot about her, and so they told me, you know, who she was and what she was doing, and I come from the school of thought, there's just some things that the public just shouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, things that happen between two people, a wife and a husband, girl, I just don't think that it's for mass consumption. I just have always felt that way. And I just think that the whole idea of celebrity and fame has become really convoluted and, you know, kind of bastardized. Like, whereas fame used to be the byproduct of success, and now it's the ultimate goal. And if your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Like, you're gonna end up on a one-way street and it's going nowhere. Like, that's just the truth. I've seen so many people like forsake their moral code and their value systems just for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Came across something on my Instagram a few days ago. This rapper guy named Tekashi69. What a freaking Fruit Loop. But came across this picture on Instagram, and it says in his caption he said, "Right now I'm signing my life away to the Illuminati for $7.5 million. Life is awesome."
I sold my single for a check, man. I sold my soul for a check, man.
Trippie Redd, he started to get a bunch of comments of people saying, bruh, you out here worshiping the devil, bruh. What is this? I can't listen to your music no more. I can't rock with you no more. What is this?
Like, seriously, let's be honest. I like to have fun, but also, before Jersey Shore, no one believes this when I say it, but I was a freaking, like, shy girl. I was very shy. That's funny that I say it now, but I was really shy. Like, I was scared to even, like, go to the doctors. So, anywho, so yeah, I was going to school to be a vet tech, and I was into my studies, getting good grades, and you know what screwed it all up was this one guy. He broke my heart, and I was like, cool, thanks. I was like, now I have to do something pretty ridiculous and insane with my life, so why not sell my soul and go on Jersey Shore? That's what I did, and you know what? It's been awesome.
You're still out here doing these songs, you know, you're still on tour.
I do, but I don't take it for granted.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. You know, I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
They tried to give me 8, got on my knee like Jesus, please. He don't even believe in Jesus. Why you got a Jesus, please?
Save Tiger's eternal soul.
He sold his soul for everything.
He what?
Sold his soul, period.
End of sentence.
The devil real and God real.
Why is your hand over your eye?
Because I'm a devil worshiper. What are you talking about?
So this came after Rihanna's Russian Roulette, became popular. It was in regards to that. Tiffany said that the video and the song kind of promotes suicide. But that's not really what I wanted to point out. It's what she says after that I want to point out here. Man, I really wish I could tell you guys what the industry really is and what stars are a part of destroying this world. The stars who worship Satan and those who have killed to get the respect they have now. You'd be very surprised. Some of your favorite people pretend to worship God, but they only do that to save face or seem innocent. Satan was the head of music in heaven. He uses influential people to help influence the world. Think about that. Once you make a certain amount of money, just know that's when they ask you to join. To get in, you have to accept the beast worship. Once you join, they assist you with your career, make you huge, only if you agree and obey to destroy God's word and his children. People listen and pay attention. It's a war going on right now between good and evil. Evil will rule this world for a minute. The people that have this power are the people that rule the whole world. I'm done. I won't say any more before I get into trouble.
Roman is a crazy boy who lives in me. And he says the things that I don't want to say. He was born, just a few months ago. I think he was born out of rage. He was conceived in rage. So he bashes everyone. He threatens to beat people, and he's violent.
It must be nice to have like an ignorant loudmouth who you can just sort of blame every...
He wants to be blamed. I don't want to blame him. I ask him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People have brought him out. People conjured him up. Now he won't leave.
And you please bless us with a verse.
Enter Vermin. Waiting.
Dun, 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 dun.
What up?
What up, Roman?
What up? What up?
What is the situation with Roman's revenge? Why, your man Weezy's on point too. He's mad out there.
Yo, Roman's revenge is just about taking control. Saying Roman is here to stay. And anybody that ever doubted Roman is going down in a coffin.
Got stuck, kids.
Because your parents were quite strict, they were Christian ministers.
They still are, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
They still are.
And how do they feel now about all your success?
They are very happy for me and support me. Of course, like, I'm not naive. I know that they have different views and I have my views, but I think that's been the dynamic with, like, parents and their children a lot of times is, like, you know, the kids are a different generation and think some other things and the parents still think this thing. So, but we agree to disagree and we get along swell.
Because you weren't allowed to say lucky when you were
How do you know that?
Oh,
he
psychic.
does his research.
I stayed up all night.
I was only allowed to say that I was blessed, which is good because I say that to this day that I'm blessed.
But why not lucky? What's wrong with lucky?
Well, I don't know. I think my mom probably said it sounded like Lucifer. Is that crazy? I wasn't allowed to eat deviled eggs. Hello, that's crazy.
So MTV and everything else was really like fused. All y'all were on block. Like I never saw any music videos or anything, unfortunately. But I remember bringing it home. It was kind of like an almost famous moment. Like I had to smuggle it in my knapsack, going directly into my room, and then pulling it out. And as I was pulling out the CD, well, needless to say, sold my soul.
You're doing really well now, but didn't you release a CD like almost 10 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I released a gospel record when I was 15 because I grew up in, a household where all I ever did was listen to gospel music, and my parents are both traveling ministers, and so I kind of sang about, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
You know, a lot of my book is about my wanting to sing. Ever since I was a little girl, my family lied to me and told me that I was better than Shirley Temple, and I believed them.
See, you're not helping a kid when you do that.
No, and I totally believed them and everything. And then when I was 6, all of a sudden, I was a has-been, and they started to tell my younger cousin that she was.
She was the real singer?
Yeah, and it really upset me. So I summoned Satan, and I write about how I made it.
Where do you summon Satan?
It's in the chapter called Eat, Pray, Love, Conjure Satan. And when I was 12 years old, I signed a deal with Satan in my room, and I was to...
CBS doesn't condone this.
Wait a minute. Because I wanted to get famous no matter what, and, then I forgot that I had this deal with Satan and everything, and then I got really famous. And then one day I, had this tragic singing accident at the...
Oh, yes, I remember that, yeah.
And I realized then that Satan was coming for my soul.
Well, I'm very much into philosophy, a lot of different philosophers that I've read over the years, like Nietzsche, Darwin, Freud, Aleister Crowley, and finally Anton LaVey. And fortunately, he's still alive, so I got to meet with him and talk about his ideas and things like that. And in America, Satanism is sensationalized and kind of misunderstood, and people associate it with worshiping the devil and things like that. But it's really a philosophy about individuality and self-preservation. It's about being your own God.
We do have one more phone call, so why don't we take that too? Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, this is Wendy from Cerritos.
Hi, Wendy. What's your question?
I was wondering if there's any significance in the backwards N in Nine Inch Nails.
The backwards N. Is it a logo thing, or did you decide that there was a portion of your life that was backward and
we do worship the devil, but
yeah, I remember having that conversation.
God bless. The problem is that there's not enough money in music as a business model, where in television and where, you know, vis-a-vis the advertisers and movies, there's so much money that the controlling forces still circle around the stars in the right way. Stars are taken care of better in those industries. In the music industry, it's still very much this exploitative thing. It's still very much people signing their life away, you know, the old deal with the devil stuff. That is still going on. It's unbelievable in this day and age that is still going on.
I was getting into not practicing, but reading a lot of spiritualism and black magic and white magic and all that kind of stuff, which you know a lot of people were doing at the time, which is like the post-hippie generation kind of thing. So all the peace and love was going out the window, and spiritualism and meditation, all that was coming in. So I was interested in that, and somebody gave Ozzy this old 16th century book of black magic. And it was all written in, I think it was Latin, and he brought it round to my flat because he knew that I was interested in books and magic and all that kind of thing. And I just got this really weird vibe off it, and I put it in this cupboard in the apartment that I was living in. And that night I just like woke up suddenly and there was just like this black shape at the bottom of my bed, and it just vanished into thin air as I was staring at it. And I just had the thought, it's got to have something to do with this book that Ozzy brought round for me, and I leapt out of bed, rushed to the cupboard to throw this book out, and the book was gone. And the next day I told Ozzy about it, and about 3 days after that we came up with our first song, Black Sabbath, and Ozzy just like related my experience in the lyrics.
Now then, nobody but nobody ever did 8 hours down a pit and came back as immaculate as the set-off with white shirt and everything like that. They were quite convinced that I was a witch. If you go to South Kirby now, you'll get some of the old miners when you say, Jimmy Sample's done well, hasn't he? Ah, and he'll look around and he'll say, he's not what you think you know. The forces of darkness are at work there. God is the fabric of everybody's life, and God is the fabric of my life. No more religious or less religious than anybody else. So I would not say that I'm a religious man, but I do know who the boss is. Or anywhere. God is all over, not necessarily up there. If the good Lord, when he was doing his thing, if he bothered about people not seeing eye to eye with him, he would have got nowhere, and a lot of us would have got nowhere into the bargain. So therefore, you've got to square your shoulders and you've got to stand up to be counted, and you haven't really got to pay too much attention to whether people think that you're not doing the right thing. As long as your conscience is clear, then you're okay. I'm not constrained pretty well by anything. The tough thing in life is ultimate freedom. Ultimate freedom is the big challenge. Now, I've got it, and I can tell you there's not many of us that have got ultimate freedom.
I feel like, you know, Sinatra, you know, in my time, you know, modern day Sinatra, so, you know, I try to live up to that, you know. I get possessed by the spirits.
I sold my soul to the devil.
At 6 o'clock in the morning, and pulling over on the highway, we like 4 cars, you know, just to watch the sunrise. And it was at that point that I fell in love with Arizona. I said, you know what, this has to be God's country. You know, because I'd never seen anything as beautiful as that sunrise. Then I met the devil in God's country. You know, and it's not so much who, it's what, you know, what happens and the things that the devil does. It's not so much a person, even though he acts through people. You know, you can't call one person the devil.
Joe Arpaio?
You know, you can't call any one person the devil. You can't do that because no one person has enough power to be the devil.
As hard as you work for your money, there's at least 2 or 3 people out there working just as hard to get it from you.
I was there when Dre told me he would sell his soul to the devil for $1 million. And I swear right now, devil got to have a receipt for his ass.
One night I was in my home studio, and it had to be like 8 to 10 people off in there.
And we had beats and stuff playing in the background and everything. That's how we used to do it, you know what I'm saying? Everybody doing what they do, smoking, drinking and everything. And actually, it came down to it that dudes actually started being used by demonic spirits. And these spirits started speaking through them, you know what I'm saying? Devils started speaking through them, talking to me, asking me, you know what I'm saying, if I was going to sell my soul, telling me what I needed to do to take my career to the next level in darkness. I mean, dudes actually came up to me holding wads of money, saying, man, don't you want to make all this money? If those demonic spirits was real, if the devil was real, you know what I'm saying, and he was offering me a way, then I knew that God was real. For the next 7 days, I continued actually to hear the demonic spirit still propositioning me to sell my soul, you know what I'm saying, in exchange for fortune and wealth or whatever in that music game, you know what I'm saying?
This major music producer sent me an email, and I'm talking to him, and this dude basically told me, you can't rap about Jesus, you can't do none of that, you know, we're going to give you a whole new look, whole new image. He basically was saying, look, man, sell your soul. We want you to rap about and sing about the things we want you to do. Sell your soul. You can't do none of that stuff for Christ, but we'll give you a $2 million music contract for 6 albums. I got to do 6 albums. The guy was basically telling me to sell my soul. Basically, that's what he was saying. He just was doing it in a different, he just was telling me in a sneaky way. He basically was saying, look, we're watching you, we love your talent, and we want to use you for the Illuminati and for Satan.
Because there's a bunch of devil workers in Hollywood. Hollywood, and there's a lot of black folks too. And they be throwing up them signs, you see them, this, that, all of them. Watch the rappers, watch them folks. It's scary. It's very scary. That devil is real.
Everybody wants to make it, and you might not make it. And I said to my dad, well, that depends on what making it is, Dad. He was a smart ass kid. Yeah. It depends on what making it is, Dad. He says, what do you mean? I said, well, you're a teacher. I said, if I could make a teacher salary doing comedy, I think that's better than being a teacher. And he started laughing. He said, if you keep that attitude, I think you should go. He said, but name your price in the beginning. If it ever gets more expensive than the price you name, get out of there. Thus, Africa.
As we talk, the band leader says, how long have you fellas been involved with sorcery? And he shocked us a little bit, and I said, exactly what do you mean? Well, he said, you know, what you people are doing, talking to the supposed spirits of the dead. He says, this is silly. To me, he says, I can't bother with this stuff. He says, I want power, I go right to the source of power. And he says, how do you think that I became famous the way that I am? Well, I said, you must have had some good luck. Well, he says, there's no such thing as good luck. He says, there's either some power working for you somewhere, or you don't get ahead in this world. Not in my type of occupation. He said, the supposed spirits of the dead that you're talking with are demon spirits. They're fallen angels. They're beautiful beings.
Just set it out, just like that.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't make you uneasy when he said they were...
Well, you know, it shocked you a little bit, you know. Something that you first hear mentioned to you. He said, you guys have got a great future ahead of you. Because we've been told, the high priest of our society, secret society, has been told that the master has very special plans for you too.
Now, what did he mean by the master?
Satan. And we were interested to hear more about it. And he told us, he says, look, we worship spirits. We worship Lucifer and all his angels. They're just as beautiful as they did before they were cast out of heaven. He says there was a misunderstanding in the whole thing. He says among the inhabitants of the galaxies. And he says our master was misunderstood, and God did not bear with him like he does with people that make mistakes today. So we're in a warfare, good against evil. And we happen to be the evil ones, but we're not that bad. He says, I look at this business between the forces of good and evil. He says, you believe in one person believes in God, and everyone believes in Lucifer. It's like politics.
a.m. Please call the fire department.
Now, as we bring out our new product for this fall season, we are anticipating a 90% jump.
Thank you for watching Up TV. If you like this video and would love to see more, check out these great videos here. And don't forget to subscribe to Up TV and Up TV 2 for even more great videos.